So hey yo, if you lost your marbles from the last episode with Sage Francis, gather them up now to lose them again from today's episode with our guest, Sleep of Oldominion and The Chicharones with Josh Martinez. Enjoy!
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
DOD45.
This is the DOD45 Show, drawing over discussions 45 minutes with a special guest. Welcome. I'm your host and resident artist, Tai of Art by Tai, and with my co-host, Adrienne Kweli, we're having conversations with people who I admire and am inspired by. On this episode, I'll set a 45-minute timer, put my pen to the paper, and we'll learn about our guest through an interview-style discussion. So stay right here with us to experience some laughs and maybe even learn a thing or two.
DOD45.
Greetings, humans, Malo, people, and Adrienne. It's another episode of the DOD45. What are you wiping?
Oh, I'm
Were you
tired.
crying?
You know my contacts are dry.
Oh, shoot.
Late
You should have taken your
for
contacts out. Yeah, well, we're running behind. I'm drinking some Coco Samoa. And I know we talked a little bit about it on the last episode with Sage Francis. But there was a couple of things that I forgot that I wanted to mention about our trip to Samoa. We went specifically because my aunt received was getting a high chief title. And it's done through a ceremony called the Saufa'i. And it's actually my first time being at a ceremony. When I got my title, we weren't able to go to Samoa at the time, so I wasn't able to attend the ceremony. I wish after that ceremony, I kind of wish that I was going to be there, don't you? Or what do you think? When I got my title.
I mean, I don't regret not being there, and I don't know. I don't have a feeling on it one way or another.
It was a cool experience, though, the South Fire, right?
On yours.
Right.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It was just good to see, Samoa's, I just like it. One of the things, them being sort of disconnected from shipping and internets and all that sort of stuff is they are able to maintain a lot of cultural things that usually get wiped away from Western worlds. And so it was a really awesome ceremony, and I used to always have issues with the ceremonial parts of things. Like when my dad died, I didn't want the ceremonial sort of. There are a lot of rules that are kind of weird. Anyway, we went for that because my aunt was receiving this very very high title, and it's a huge honor for our family, and it's a big deal. So I was really happy that we could be there for that. But when we came back, when we were in Samoa, we were given so much Coco Samoa, and that's awesome.
You'll have to explain what that is because I don't think
Coco Samoa it's a bean, right? It's like it's like a big pod. I've been drinking Coco Samoa since I was like 7 years old.
It's the cocoa bean. It's roasted over an open fire, so it tastes not only nutty and chocolatey, but also of burnt.
I don't know how to make Coco Samoa.
I think they make it into a paste. They heat it up, make it into a paste, and they use cups, paper or plastic cups as forms. What? And then they put it in a baggie and let it, so you have a cup.
You know, it's funny. Ever since
a solid cocoa bean,
and it's shaped like a cup.
Yeah.
But this has been the process. They've done it since I'm 45 years old, almost gonna be 46. I have been drinking Coco Samoa. Everyone it was always something that we had, and it was always in the freezer, kept in the freezer, shaped like paper
last
cup.
Time we were there, I was able to watch somebody make it, and it was pretty crazy. It was so hot, and she'd just sit right there over that fire roasting these beans forever.
Well,
But then when we get it home, you just shave some of it off because I think you've never really done that part either.
No,
but
I've
you
never
just shave it off of the cup form, the big solid chunk of cocoa, and then you just steep it in water like cowboy coffee.
Yeah, well, it's what's amazing to me is all this time I never knew that shape was the shape of a cup. 40-something years, I didn't realize that that's what they formed it in. I just always thought, oh, Coco Samoa is like shape? The cylinder shape.
That's an accessible form.
Yeah, it's so cool though. Also, when we got there on our episode, I think it was the episode with Cast One that aired, the rewind episode. We talked about my cousin Levy, and he was there in Samoa when we got there, and I asked him to make me some Polysami, and he made a whole umu, and that's the taro, and then this Polysami is
taro leaf.
Yeah, taro, but the big the taro itself was part of the umu. He gave us a bunch of those.
Oh yeah, he did give us taro.
And like I don't know, I think like 30 or 40 Polysamis. Shoot. I don't have the time to explain what that is.
Well, you have to now because you're talking about it.
Well, I'll explain it after our discussion with our guest.
All it is taro leaf and coconut milk or cream.
Right, and it's shredded, like it's kind of like shredded up inside of a. They wrap it. Usually, they wrap it with a banana leaf.
Banana leaf.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's not shredded. I think it's rolled.
Oh, rolled. Like it's kind of like
almost like a mini tamale.
Oh, okay.
I think.
And then
I mean, tamale is not rolled. But...
They wrap it in like tin foil. It's almost shaped like a Hershey's Kiss. They wrap it in like tin foil to send home. So we filled up our usually you get what they call an umu box. You fill up a box when you're flying back home from Samoa, and it's full of all this food and stuff. But we came up with a plan and put it in our suitcase, our extra suitcases. And so I got a freezer full of Polysami, and I've been eating Polysami since I was a kid. I loved it, and it's like gold.
It's like a delicacy for an American. It's for someone who's not in Samoa frequently.
Yeah, it's so delicious. Yeah, it was, and so I'm happy to bring that. But we also brought back a bottle of Fungusaya, which is sea cucumber. It's just the raw sea cucumber, and they put it in a bottle with the ocean water, and it's really disgusting. I'm showing a picture of it right now. And fungu means bottle, and saya is sea, so it's bottle of the sea. But all that in there, that's like this slimy, gross, and it smells awful and it tastes awful. But I was talking to Mr. Dibbs before we left to Samoa, and he was asking about something that to bring him back something. So we brought that, but I've also brought back a bottle of Fungusaya and challenged him to eat it. And he says, I mean, if you know Mr. Dibbs, you've seen videos of him, he's probably not going to have any problem eating it. But we're going to be at the Atmosphere show at Red Rocks in September. And the night before the show, we're going to...
We should probably do it the night after.
Oh, the night after, so he doesn't get sick?
Set. Yeah.
So Dibbs is going to try it, and he's trying to figure out who else he can get to try it. I don't think anyone else will try it.
It's in our freezer, so it's being...
And again, I'll show this picture again. I'm telling you, this stuff is gnarly. Last time I brought some home 9 years ago, our dog wouldn't even eat it. It's pretty gnarly stuff. So
our dog ran from it.
Our guest today is Sleep of Oldominion. We were supposed to have him on before we left for Samoa. He had some issues with his phone and stuff, so that fell through. But we have him back. We were able to schedule him back in now before our busy summer schedule. So real quickly before he comes in, I'll just tell you a few things about him, and then when we come at the end of the episode, I'm going to do like some song shares, some quote shares. So at the end of the episode, after we're done with him, stick around because I want to talk about a few things, and I got kind of an interesting story to tell. So anyway, yeah, like I said, Sleep of Oldominion, aka Christopher Tafoya. He's a founding member of Oldominion.
Tafoya, is he Pacific Islander?
No, Tafoya does sound like a Pacific Islander name, but I think it is either Greek or Italian.
Oh.
Tafoya. Anyway, he's the other half of the Chicharones with Josh Martinez. He's out of New Mexico, but I believe he lives in the Northwest now. His 2002 debut album was called Riot by Candlelight.
Soul searching with a dream catcher, alive in a coffin and you can't quite scratch her. Way out then you remember.
You're only a member of those on the way back in. Then would that mean that the crepiness has already crept in? I feel as though I've stepped in. Lessons, legions, reasons, treasons, seasons. Lessons, legions, reasons, treasons, seasons.
Symptoms of a soul searching, lost, rubbishing through pieces of the past, putting together back the fabric that made you. My spindle yields gold, tangled in cat.
Very interesting album. Oh, I don't like the word interesting. Sorry, it's a very good album. His 2005 album is called Christopher.
I remember walking, listening to my Walkman, posturing my thoughts as I walk through the crack now. I would hit you off, that you're never gonna make it. Why wasting your time making that music need to be getting this paper lane? I would never, I try to be, but these kids don't get it. But I never let it get me down. I've been down and out before. I only know how to give it my all and tell her hard, even my daughter to rock this opera. I gotta travel 1,000 kilometers to make $100. Know what I'm saying? Not really. At least your album's out, bro. Yeah, true, but kids don't buy your record the more they download. But don't they know that it's affecting you? Yeah, I think they do.
He first met Josh Martinez in South by Southwest. I haven't heard a whole lot coming out of either one of them for a while, but I'm not as plugged in as I used to be. He also has a 2009 album called Hesitation Wounds, and there's a Del the Funky Homo Sapien track on that, and also a Grace Cole track on that.
I made this record for the eager, the weary, for the believer, the dreamer, the future leader, the living, the one beneath us, the thinker, the time that's free and the needy, for an album with meaning. For the people without a means to an end in a system seeking. For the morning, the stressed out, for the underpaid, maxed out, for the underdog, for the single mom in a mom's guest house, for the guy on the couch, for the family whose lights are out, for the supporters, for the people whose minds are in doubt, for the down and out, for the ones who got off route, for the ones who are on course to find out what I'm talking about, for the people living with regret, for the people dying with it.
And both of those tracks are awesome. His fourth album is called Oregon Failures.
Here I go again, a tornado in my head, and it's forcing me to go into my basement and arrange it in a way that's making people go crazy when I say it. Yeah, I'm making ways and never thinking, take away the weak and bacon if I really want to make it. Pick my brain apart, I beg your pardon, let me hit it harder than them other artists. Get it moving like a cruising missile, break it down to the bone bristle with a little riddle that I whittle when I wasn't riddled with these bitter feelings that I'm feeling. Yes, I'm dealing with the stress of holding buildings up, and I can take it up another notch. I'm an independent artist, let me holler at myself if I want to make it hot. Woke up, I found myself falling. I knew I could crawl out. I knew that they could not keep me down. I knew what it was all about. Leaving my soul on the shelf.
And he's also on a track with Ice-T, Chuck D, Rappin' Forte, and R.A. The Rugged.
For those that think it's hard to digest, you right.
Hey yo, beat me up, Scotty. Your sleep can body the beat hard. You newbie, never sloppy, you're incomplete. I've been carving my name on the scene slightly beneath the streets. But when the sun finally shines down at me, it's time to eat. I'm like a bullet in the brain. Pull up to the game late, and when it stakes for dinner, I'm always in the right mind to kill it. It makes me ill, a runs of the litter. I'm nice in my endeavors. I like my cheddar stacked and rap free. Let's get to brass tacks. I'm sick, didn't get the vaccine. I'm never on some good with coulda shit. When I get a chance, I'm gonna murder shit. Babylon, gentleman, battle ready for any tournament that I'm inserted in. I weave the rhyme like a tourniquet to stop the bleeding when life's dealing.
But I was gonna say,
Is
Adrienne,
Rappin' Forte part of Too Short?
but Rappin' Forte's been around for a long time. It's got
Why do those like connect in my head?
because it's stylistically that's similar like that. Adrienne and I, we used to listen to a ton of the Chicharones back in our pop art days when we were doing the stencil art pieces. I think that might have been right around the time that I discovered them and Josh Martinez, and that was 25 years ago when we were doing those pop art paintings. So that's what I was mentioning to you earlier, Adrienne, that we used to listen to them a lot. But
Rappin' Forte was on Too Short song.
oh, was he? Well, probably, but Link
Is
is
the number Forte?
Let me.
Sorry.
Yeah, the number.
I know we're talking about sleep. My brain tends to stop on certain things.
All right, let's take a really quick break, and then we'll be right back with Sleep. And after our discussion with him, stick around because we're going to talk about a few more other things. So let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with Sleep of Old Dominion.
DOD45.
Hot sauce.
We're real thrilled to have partnered with Hob Sauce for 3 simple reasons. Their hot sauce is delicious, the owner and creator David is a solid dude, and they collaborate with dope artists for their labels, including myself. Boom. Amplify your favorite foods with their award-winning flavors. Head over to hobsauces.com to get yourself some absolutely delicious artisan hot sauce. Hit it, Bobby.
Have sauce. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Put it on your food. Hot sauce.
This is flyover country. No one's expecting much from us. In fact, no one's expecting anything at all. The coast probably think we're at Walmart right now. Ray dealing on 5, by the way. Instead, here we are making plans. Big plans. Because in a city where people do so much with so little, what could happen if we gave them more? More beauty, connections, perspectives. This is your chance to be a part of something bigger than yourself. Something that's made of brick, concrete, and steel. But also for blood, sweat, and soul. Something that can only be possible in St. Louis. Because when no one's expecting much from you, you can do anything. Our city deserves something epic. Long live laborious.
Check out our new partners, Brim of the World, a.k.a. Seek, Conquer, and Destroy, a.k.a. Aliens Built Earth. Show them some love and treat yourself right to a new wardrobe or some new headgear. And I'm not talking about braces headgear, I'm talking about hats. Check out all their gear and links at brimoftheworld.com. Hey, real quick, my friends, my art is available for purchase at artbytai.com. So if you like what you're seeing or you want to support the DOD45 show, the best way for you to do that is to pick up a print or an original at my website. If you're not quite ready to buy, but you still want to help out, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you stream from. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel at Art by Tai and engage in the comments. That goes a long way. All right, enough already. Let's get back to the show.
DOD45.
Welcome back, and let's welcome our man, Sleep. Hey,
yeah, man. Struggling over here.
We made it in. It's all good. We're alive and we're in now.
Yes, we are. How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Yeah, doing well. It's a beautiful day here in Portland, Oregon. We got some sunshine, so it feels really good.
Yeah, aren't you guys having a crazy heat wave already?
Yeah, I call it a heat wave if you want. I call it awesome wave.
That's great. Well, awesome. I appreciate you joining us, and thanks for getting this worked out. I really was looking forward to having a conversation with you. So
yeah, same. Yeah.
How was before I start the timer and start drawing and getting into some questions? How was Mario World?
Oh, and awesome. Yo,
yeah.
Me and my kids, we're all like real nerds over here. So like Mario's it was big for us and everybody. That was everyone's favorite part about the whole entire vacation was going to Super Mario Land. Like the ride itself was like okay, it was pretty dope. There were parts of it that were just so ill. I couldn't even believe it was happening, but just to be surrounded in that environment and like be like completely immersed in like Mario World was pretty super tight.
So they did build it. It is built like the Star Wars, like a whole theme, like it's a whole part. Like
Yep. It's a whole part of Universal, and it's just like like how Star Wars section at Disney is or something. Which I mean, it's hard to beat that or Harry Potter, right? Those are like super ill, but that the Mario was like my place. I loved it. We had a lot of fun. My kids did. We all grouped around and all acted about the same age.
Yeah, that's awesome.
None of us had
They do
What's
such
that?
a good job on those worlds.
They really do.
Down to the
Yeah,
garbage cans and the air dryers in the bathrooms. Like everything is done.
Yeah, every detail. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you're completely immersed in it. And then like you get out and you're like, oh, here we are again.
Did you end up seeing the movie? I take you have.
Yeah. We there was no way I was gonna get out of that one with my kids. They're they're like 9, 13, and 16. So I have a grown child. Like on my first album, I dedicated my album Christopher to her. When I was 19, a month later, my daughter was born, and it was just us for a really long time. And then I got married, and we had 3 kids together. So now I have like 4 kids. I got a squad. I'm a grandpa now.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's crazy. I can't even believe it. Yeah, she's a knucklehead too. Like I think she's gonna be a rapper.
Oh, that's awesome.
She just yells at people all day. I don't know.
How old is she?
She's 1.
1.
That's
wow.
That's exciting.
little. Yeah, it was exciting. She was with us on our vacation. Like, took the whole squad to like a Disneyland kind of vacation. But life gets so busy and we don't ever get to do anything. It seems like, and except for work and I'm always so busy. I just feel like I'm there, but I can't even think about what we're playing or doing. And it was just good to get away from everything and just solely focus on family and then actually see how much of a knucklehead my granddaughter is.
Yeah, that's fun.
I think she's gonna be like super aggressive rapper, like MOP or something.
Oh shit!
She's gonna be like,
how would that be?
It'll be kind of tight. Yeah.
Yeah. How deep does your love go for Mario? Like, were you a John Leguizamo, Bob Hoskins Mario or that Mario movie fan?
Yeah. I'm not. I don't want to date myself, but I'm a grandpa already. Yeah, I've been in Mario since like Mario came home. I was a gamer, dude. I had like Pong and ColecoVision and Atari, and when NES first dropped, like my uncle had it. I like stayed the night at their house every night I could just to like stay up all night and play Mario. And my mom like had put this Mario console away on layaway, and on my birthday, I was like, I don't remember what grade I was. I must have been like 10, 11, 12, somewhere in that little range. Yeah, I was 10. She busted out that Nintendo, and it was the best thing I ever had in my life. Everybody in my hood thought I was rich because I had Nintendo. You know what I mean? It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I had all the neighbor kids coming over. They thought they were gonna play, but mostly they just sat around and watched me play. I was kind of stingy with it at first,
That was such the thing. You'd come up with rules of what they have to do to be able to get a turn.
Yeah. What they're gonna bring you? Well, at your house, I noticed you guys have Dr. Peppers.
So I guess that's where it started, because our kids, they grew up watching people playing Minecraft on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I guess it started at home, and who
people who were stingy with their consoles.
Yeah, I was like, well, get it.
My mom is a gamer, right? So it's really funny. Like she was like kind of like at home. She had a surgery and stuff and couldn't really do much, and so we kind of chipped in and we got her I think it was like a Wii or something, and she ended up getting hooked to the point now she has like her computer's better than mine. Yeah. And all she does is she like plays WoW, like she's a World of Warcraft, and she's got like everything. But she has a server that she made, a Minecraft server that's just for like all the grandkids, her grandkids and stuff, to like get together and play with her. And she's such an amazing Minecraft builder. Like I've been trying to convince her to like start like a stream
that's
for
awesome.
doing this stuff, because she's like a grandma and she's like she's super cute and funny, and she like just pones everybody. She's really good at gaming.
That's what so do the grandkids like to play? Because my mom all out of nowhere got way hardcore into
Fortnite.
She's a Fortnite, she's a dog as fuck. Like my kids don't even. My kids are 16 and 17 and 15, and they don't even want to play with her because she just dominates.
Yeah. And they'll be like, no, I don't want to play with grandma.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Yeah, it is. All right,
Yeah.
before I start this timer, here's let me ask you this real quick question. Who would you rather have tattooed on your back from a drunken night out? B.A. Baracus or Colt Seavers?
Hey. A team's kind of my jam.
I love it, man. Nothing beats it. If hip hop shows had a sideline reporter, who would you prefer to handle that duty? Michelle Tafoya or Aaron Andrews?
Well, I'm gonna have to say Michelle Tafoya, due to the fact that she's a Tafoya and so am I.
We were trying to figure out what's the ethnicity, what's the last name come from?
It's a Spanish last name, but it mostly exists in New Mexico. Really, to tell you the truth, but it is a Spanish. It used to be Tafoyas in Spain, and then like when people came to the country and stuff, they like would shorten names and stuff and change them. It's like the American version of it, but mostly exists in New Mexico.
Oh yeah, the only other person I had seen with it was Michelle Tafoya.
And my cousin Henry, who was also a sports news guy in New Mexico.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, totally.
Whose impersonation do you think you'd be better with, Christopher Lloyd or Christopher Walken?
I'm so bad at impersonations, but I'm a more Christopher Lloyd kind of guy. But I'm not gonna try it.
I was just gonna say, do you want to give it a try?
Philippians. I don't know. I don't even know how to. I'm a terrible. My brother used to get like at me every time I tried to do an impersonation because he's hella good at it. And I suck at impersonations.
Did he have anyone specific that he would try to He
can do anything. You know what? I do have an uncanny ability. If I'm on tour with you long enough, I will be able to rap like you. I could do an impersonation of one, but I got to be around him and soaking it up. And as soon as I'm not around him, my impersonation goes away. I'm not good at it anymore. I have to always see it.
Which of these two actors are you familiar with? Christopher McDonald or Christopher Thomas Howell? One, both, or none?
Honestly, I don't know too much about either of them, like of their personal lives, but I mean, I'm familiar with them.
Yeah. And then I guarantee Adrienne. Well, do you know one of them? Maybe Adrienne, right? C. Thomas Howell? You know C. Thomas Howell.
I can Google him.
He was supposed to be in the Darkroom movie.
Is this important for me to know?
Nope, not at all.
No, but it's awesome. I think it is. I'm honestly, I do care, but I do forget a lot. Like I have a son who's like a still trap, and he remembers every date, every name, every person, and everything he's into. He knows every possible thing about it.
Wow. That is a crazy, awesome, useful tool. I wish I had that.
Same.
You can recall it anytime if it's something he's into.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's so great.
He's very intelligent, and he's a metalhead. Like all he cares about is heavy metal right now, and he's playing guitar, and he's insane. He's so good at it.
Great.
Yeah, he's already rocked 2 shows too.
Wow. How old?
And he just started last August. He's 13.
Wow.
That's so great. Isn't it awesome how quickly, how quickly the kids these days can just start rocking it out because they have so much access to being able to figure stuff out now.
Yeah, it's insane.
Last one on the Sophie's Choice questions. Who would you rather play your silly sidekick in a silent Christopher Nolan film, Ludacris or Chris Elliott?
It's a silent film.
Yeah, it's a silent film.
I'm probably Ludacris. I'm gonna go Ludacris just because I already am gonna look pretty chubby next to Ludacris, but Chris Elliott's definitely gonna make me look pretty bad on screen. So I'm gonna just go with Ludacris.
Awesome.
Plus we have some similarities in our songs. There's a couple themes. My wife's convinced that Ludacris has been inspired by a couple of my underground classics that nobody ever heard.
Except for him.
Except for Ludacris.
REM or a nap?
I'm gonna go REM.
Yeah.
Something about REM. They have a couple songs from my childhood that I just love so much, like "Losing My Religion" and some of those joints. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna roll with them.
If I ask you right now, without thinking about it, where are you from?
New Mexico.
Okay. Have you been in Portland longer than you've been in New Mexico?
It's a good, I think I've been everywhere equal. I lived in New Mexico till I was like 14, and then I came up here for a year, then moved back. I have one of those like bounce around everywhere childhoods, but mostly it's centered around New Mexico. And then I was in Seattle for a long time too, and then came to Portland. They all feel like home to me, to be honest, and I love them all a lot. Like I love Seattle. I always have love for it. That's kind of where I got my musical like start, as far as like performing a lot of shows and people like actually caring and stuff like that. And then New Mexico is my heart. It's where everything home is to me, like my family and the bluffs and the desert and just everything that like makes me feel. That's where I go to recharge my battery. I go home, and then it makes me feel whole. And Portland, I just love the way the city's embraced me. At first it was hard because like every publication, every time they write about me, I was always a Seattle rapper. It took a long time to turn that around and make me a Portland rapper where I got embraced. But like the scene actually really helped me up over here and has allowed me to like, I just love all the people over here. I have a really good group of friends here. Like all some of my best friends live here, and between Seattle, and New Mexico, but just Portland's home. Portland's stressed right now though. It's going through a lot. Ever since like the pandemic and all the different protests and just a lot of fighting happening over here, and it just kind of left the city broken a tiny bit, and everybody's just trying to pick up the pieces and get back to regular life, but it feels a little busted right now.
We were there in September of last year. Adrienne's uncle lives Portland proper, like downtown Portland. And we were there for that Art and the Pearl show. So we were there for a weekend, and you could feel that it was a little busted, but you could just see the people that were like, no, this is my city. We'll survive it. We had the same experience when we went to Minneapolis recently. Like, they felt a little busted up, but I don't know. People as humans are resilient, and when they have a spot that they love, they find a way.
And Portlanders and Oregoners, we love it here. Like I love this place. It's beautiful. Like the nature is so amazing. It's pretty mild. We have some rainy winters, but man, this place is dope. I couldn't imagine like wanting to look at anything else. Like I'm able to do some cool bonsai. I don't know if you can see, but I got my little bonsai trees going.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like got some overgrowth happening right here, but like it's been raining. We just finally got sun, so I'm gonna be able to work in my yard and do all the cool stuff that old guys do,
Yeah, exactly. Is there a movie or a rapper or band that you're supposed to like but you actually don't? For example, like I'll say, and this always I'm sure it gets me in hot water, but I'm not really a Beatles fan.
I love the Beatles. You're not. No, okay. For me, it's the Doors. Jim. I like the Doors musically, but Jim Morrison and his lyrics and stuff, for whatever reason, I've always just tweaked my nerves.
They're out there.
Yeah, and just some of the concepts of it, and like, I don't know, like when people over show off or something, like when they overperform, I'm not a real big fan of it, and that's why I've always kind of downplayed anything that I do. And I like background. I'm more like I should have been a really good background singer or something, but I can't sing. But like real, like performative, like have to get all the attention kind of things always sort of perturbed me. And I always felt like he was over the top and like playing into it rather than that just being who he is. What I mean? And I just for whatever reason I could see that, and it always bothered me.
Yeah, it kind of didn't feel authentic. You didn't feel like an authentic. Yeah,
because I know real messed up people.
Well, on the flip side of that, is there like a someone that you're not
I shouldn't like,
but you do?
Yes,
mine's Miley Cyrus.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I don't know why. Sometimes I dig her music.
All right, I ain't gonna lie. So yeah, there's a couple actually, but one in particular that just happened recent to me was Yeet. Like, I'm not supposed to be a fan of it, and like young kids like him. It's that new style. he stayed some time in Oregon, and Henri Osborne was actually showing me him to let me know, like, yo, you know this guy? And I was like, oh yeah, I do. And his music's nothing like anything I would ever listen to, and I hated it instantly. Like, and I couldn't, like, when he first showed it to me, I was like, I cannot believe this is what everybody's liking, and blah 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 in my head. And then like 2 days later, I was like doing something. I remember I was cleaning or picking up, and I'm like mumbling, rapping his verses in my head, and it was like stuck in my head. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no, I want to hear this again. And I put it on. Sure enough, I liked it, and so it's my like. There's only a few songs that I really bumped, you know, but I do like it. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty hard, yeah. But I listen to like all kinds of music. Like when you like roll with me, like if you're like stuck in my van and we're driving somewhere in my car, you know, like I'm gonna be playing a bunch of stuff that you know I'll play. Like you definitely will be like, oh yeah, you're just gonna bump some Sage and Aesop and stuff. Yeah, that's gonna be in there. But a lot of stuff that I'm playing is going to be different. I'm gonna be bumping like Mono Neon or like Hiatus Coyote. My boy gets me hip to all these things, you know what I mean? And then I'm just like, I'm all over. I fall in love with them, you know, like Phony People. He got me hip to. I really like what they got going on. And then there's this these soldies that I'm really into, like These Sinceres and These Sacred Souls. And there's this dude Joey Quinones, and he's like super ill, and it's like this cool Latino movement that's happening, and they're like going back to the old school like cars and the way it looks, and they're doing like doo-wop stuff, and I really like doo-wop and old music too, you know. So like I've always incorporated it into like the music that I make with like my partner Josh on the Chicharones stuff. Like that platform's always been easier for me to put that side of me into my music on like Chicharones, more playful and fun. Like on my solo stuff and stuff with Oldominion or Strange Famous, I really go for more serious and technical and stuff like that, you know.
Right.
That's like a platform for that kind of thing. But I have this real goofy, nerdy side of me that like I really like making doo-wop joints. I'm not gonna lie, it's like one of my favorite things to do in the world. And sometimes I go to the studio. Like I had a song I was doing with Crooked Eye the other day, right? And I was supposed to go record my verse for Crooked Eye. Which, yeah, I'm really excited, and it's a really technical, dope song. He's one of the best rappers on the planet, so I'm super excited to do it. But when we got in the lab, all I wanted to write was this like funny doo-wop song, and I don't know why, but that's just what I was in the mood to do. And so I made it priority, and everybody was just like looking at him like, seriously, this is like what you want to do right now, man? Like, but you know, I don't care. It's what I wanted to do, and I love it, and I love making really hard stuff too, and really like technical stuff, and rapid fast, and doing all the cool stuff that has all the bells and whistles. I love doing it. It's like so fun to do for me. But I also really love making people laugh, or something, make a funny song, something that's heartfelt or sweet, even, you know, like. And what's crazy is anytime I write those, I usually write them for myself. Them are the ones that have made me more money than any other song that I you know. I wrote this lullaby for my kid and my wife. I wrote it for my kid. I like freestyled it, put it in the bed, and then I really liked the melody, so I like sung it into my phone so I wouldn't forget it when we're in the studio, you know. And we were like going through beats, and I heard this beat, and I was like, whoa, it's like in the same key as my little lullaby, you know. And so I turned it into this love song, and I really vibed out on it, and it was super dope to me. But like Martinez, even he was like, dude, this is even soft for me. And like he's like super like, I'm supposed to be like the MC, you know, and he's more like the like lover boy, you know. But he said it was even too soft for him, and I was like, yo, man, this is like a really, I don't want to dirty this song up. I don't want to make it funny or slapstick. I just want to make a sweet song, because it's about my kid, man, right about my kid. So, and he loves my son too, so he wrote his verse, you know, and it became this real lovable song, dude. Like, we ended up getting like a global campaign from that song from Samsung. They used it for the Galaxy S4. We got paid over $100,000 for that joint. Wow. And they put us in the commercial as like principal actors. So I was getting mailbox money for a little bit. It was amazing. You know, like, and it's all because of a love song that nobody wanted to do except for me, but I just had a feeling.
Hey, would you mind if I sing a song? And if you like it, you could sing along. I made it for you, and I don't even know your name. Hey, I wouldn't want you to walk away without hearing what I got to say. Please give me one conversation.
And with Sage too, like I've had a couple of songs that I made that they just weren't in the wheelhouse, I guess, of Strange Famous, and he would be like, "Yo, man, honestly, if you didn't use auto-tune on that one part, I might like it, so I re-record it and try a different way." And he's like, "Honestly, I think I just don't like this song, Sleep."
Oh wow.
And I'd be like, "No problems, man." I used that same exact song I'm talking about for the Chicharones album, and it ended up getting so much licensing and stuff for me. Like I it just fits like different moods that maybe we're talking about, but I'm not like, I don't get my feelings hurt about stuff like that. I just like making what I make, and I make everything.
Well, and it's also awesome that you're able to like you're not stuck in just one thing. Like you're able to fuck around and make the things that make you feel good. Yeah, that's
yeah. Like my favorite group is Flight of the Conchords. Like
me too.
Alive. I love them.
They're the best, man.
I fanboyed at their concert.
Oh my god, we were just talking about that with our kids at dinner just before we got on here, because we raised them watching that since they were really tiny little babies.
Yeah, same.
I was like, I don't think that there's many other kids that grew up watching this.
My kids did.
That's so
okay. So you're the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, I would bump them in the cars, like we'd take like road trips and stuff too, because like their songs are funny and the kids all would sing it and I would sing it with them. You know what I mean? And then they came to Portland for the first time. I had never seen them here. I like set a timer on my phone. And got a ticket as soon as they dropped. I got front row tickets, everything. Wow. I spent way too much money for me and my wife, and like I fanboyed out for real. It's like we were sitting waiting for like Eugene Merman did his set, and I love Eugene Merman stuff, and it was hilarious. But all of a sudden, Jermaine got on the mic and he's like, "Everybody make some noise for Eugene Merman," and I was like, "Yo, Ray, it's Jermaine, it's Jermaine!" Like a super fan. It was amazing.
I remember was either my mom or your mom was tripping because like my daughter, like she must have been 3 or 4, or was that when they're singing "Too Many Dick" on the dance floor?
Oh, yeah, that was our daughter.
Yeah.
On the hearth, walking back and forth, like all sassy.
or like Sugar Lumps too.
Yeah.
Me and my wife, we like have so many quotables in our lives that come from little things. Like Flight of the Conchords or Arrested Development or just any show like that we like will watch together or music we listen together. We get all these little inside things that become code to us in real life, and that one definitely. I'll always be like, "I see girls checking out my front, checking out the front of my trucks."
Hey, big hunk or Charleston chew?
This is the old episode. I get it now. I'm gonna go big hunk, son.
Yeah, I love a big hunk, but I think I'd lose all my teeth if I tried to jump into.
That's what my wife calls me, a big hunk.
That's awesome.
She actually calls me Plumpkin.
That's fun. Wait, what was your first concert? What was the very first concert you ever went to? Like the one that memory lasted for you?
I mean, that wasn't like mariachi music or something.
Right.
No, yeah. Somebody some show that you went to that was like
it was the Far Side. Honestly.
Oh wow.
I was like kind of poor and never had money for concerts and stuff and didn't have any hookups or anything to get into them, and everybody like Far Side was my favorite group. I loved Far Side so much. And this is like when I was in high school and they were coming to Portland and my brother-in-law bought me a ticket to the show and I went down there. And it was actually so significant because I went with Henri. Me and Henri went together and it was my very first concert. And that's where we met the rest of the crew from Oldominion. It was the first time we all met each other. Was at that concert.
Were you rapping? Yeah. Were you guys all rapping at that point, or were you?
Oh yeah. Cool. I had been rapping my whole life, dude. Like, I started rapping for reals. Like, it sounds dumb, but I really started rapping when I was about 5 years old. I used to get babysat by my aunt, and like I lived in the ghetto, but they lived in the more ghetto. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's levels to it,
right?
And so like. After school, I would go to my Aunt Loogie's house, and she lived with my my great grandpa, and all my cousins were like just a little extra hood. But I had this one cousin Jude, who was he was like the sickest popper, and he could break dance real good, you know what I mean? And like, so he was kind of legendary in that hood. And every day after school, they would put out linoleum, and everybody would like break dance and battle each other and pop. And I just got really good at the rapping part. I could just do it. I don't know. I used to break dance too. I could do all the power moves and stuff when I was little. So like I was like this little b-boy that could rap, and everybody would just be like, "Oh, dude, kick that rap." But I was only kicking like Nucleus and other people's raps, right? And then my very first rap I wrote was with Henri, and it was kind of like a dumb rap. I wrote about fried bread in New Mexico, and it was just like this like silly rap, but it was funny, and we made everybody laugh with it. And then it was just me and Henri. Like I moved to like Farmington from Albuquerque when I was 10, when my parents got divorced. And I didn't really have any friends or anything, and I really felt out of place there, and it was just kind of like this weird thing. So I'd bring my ghetto blaster to school, and I would just like play hip hop music because it's what I knew, you know what I mean? I would just like pop, and I would like listen to my stuff. And one day Henri just walked up to me, he's like, "How do you know about Run DMC?" And I was like, "I don't know, I love Run DMC." He's like, "Dude, around here I'm the only one who like knows about them." And I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I love them." And from that point on, me and him were Run DMC for like that whole year. Yeah. I was Run and he was DMC, and we would just go back and forth. I would bring my ghetto blaster to school, and me and him would just rap back and forth. He's been my rap partner I'm 47 now, so I've been rapping with Henri for 37 years.
Wow.
Like that's how long
I've been from Farmington too?
Yeah. We grew up together. He's my best friend.
Such a small area, a small town. Yeah,
it's a small town. But Defy's from there. Like there's some dope MCs that came there. Well, there weren't MCs around Henri and I. Like when we did it, it was just like, for me it was in Albuquerque. I got my like introduction to it, and then me and Henri kept each other's like passion for it alive over the years. It was just like we both always did it. We would like rock shows and rock, like I rocked way more shows before I even went to a concert. Like I never even been to a concert, but I had put on like, I can't even tell you how many shows I put on. We would do like these little things, man, like where I would go talk to like the wrestling coach at Navajo Academy or something and be like, "Hey, can we go through the wrestling program and we'll split the door and give you guys can use it as a raise, and we'll throw a show here in your spot." And like they would do it, and then and we would make like a whole bunch of money. We wouldn't know what to do. We'd go to like Pizza Hut or something.
Yeah.
And then be like, "Yo, we'll give you $50 if we have complete access to the jukebox." And then we would like buy the jukebox and then just buy hella pizza and eat it, and just like take like 3 pizzas home to our families and stuff. You know what I mean? It was like we didn't invest or spend it, right? But we were making the money and putting on our own shows and doing that stuff. So, and then I moved to Seattle. Well, I actually moved to this little town called Kelso. My mom and my stepdad got jobs up there at this nuclear power plant. It's the same nuclear power plant that the Simpsons base their nuclear power plant. That my parents actually used to work there for reals. And because I don't know if you know, the Simpsons are all based around Portland stuff. You know what I mean?
Didn't know that, no.
Yeah, like Burns is like Burnside. Flanders is a street here. Like all of their names are like streets in Portland.
Oh.
Yeah, and the guys from Springfield, Eugene, Oregon, is shared. They're like a twin city with Springfield, Oregon, and Springfield is where the Simpsons are from. You know, and that power plant would be Trojan, where my parents worked.
Wow.
But so when I moved up to the Northwest, I got lucky, and I was 14 when I moved up here, and I met this guy. He was from Watts, but he was living in this little small town, Kelso, you know, and he worked I met him at KB Toys, because I would go there and buy my video games, you know what I mean? And he was doing something about rap one day, and I told him I was an MC, and then I rapped for him, and he saw money. So he was just like, "Yo, dude, come here. I'm going to be your manager and stuff." And then I was just a kid, so I was like begging my mom to sign bad contracts and stuff, and she wouldn't do it, and I'd be like, think she was the worst.
Yeah.
You just don't even know what I know. You know? And like and then he introduced me to Pale Soul, and like Pale was working at KB Toys too, and once me and Pale met, we ditched everybody else and just latched onto each other, and he was my friend. And I learned so much from him. He was like way more advanced as an MC as me at that point. I thought he thinks that I was, but like I learned a lot from him. I used to like cuss a bunch of my lyrics and not really have as much dope content. I said like kind of shitty things, and at that time in his life, he was real conscious, and he'd be like, "Hey man, you think you have to cuss so much or blah blah blah."
How old were you guys when that was going on?
When I met Pale, I was 14, and he's like a year and a half or 2 years older than me. So, but he seemed so old to me at that time. When somebody's like driving already, and you're like a kid, like they're just your elder, you know. You like do anything they tell you, and so he was telling me to be good. And then we had like this hiatus from each other, where like I moved back to New Mexico because I was kind of a little troublemaker when I was a kid, and my parents didn't know how to handle me, so they sent me back to my grandparents and stuff. You know what I mean? And, which was great because I got to reconnect with Honoree, but me and Pale lost contact with each other. And then my senior year, I was kind of missing my mom and moved back to the Northwest again. And I was with my buddy Reggie, and we're broke down on the side of the highway. Sure enough, Pale just comes driving by, and he sees me, and he just like pulls over on the freeway, like, and, like he comes up to us, and he like reverses, and he's like, "Yo," he called me Crush. My name used to be Kid Crush, you know. He'd be like, "Kid Crush." I'm like, like his name used to be Melody or something. We all had so many crappy names when we were young, you know what I mean? Like Sleep stuck with me when I was 19. I got called Sleep when I was 19, and it never went away. And I remember when I first got it, I was like, I don't want to be Sleep. You know what I mean? Like, quit calling me that. I was like trying to come up with some ninja name, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ninja Sleep.
I've been sleep. I'm not gonna sleep on you anymore.
And speaking of sleep, on the as part of one of the segments we do on the show, I do a useless fact. There's a few facts, so I'm sharing it with you at the end, Adrienne.
Okay.
And these are facts about sleep, not you, but sleep. 2/3 of a cat's life is spent asleep. There's one fact.
Wow.
Within 5 minutes of waking up, 50% of your dream is forgotten. And humans are the only mammals that will willingly delay sleep. So, yeah, there you go.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, I have one more. 12% of humans dream entirely in black and white. I don't know how they know that, but those are some facts.
I don't know either. That's pretty crazy, and those are some interesting facts there. My name is Sleep, and I do not get enough of it. I am so sleep deprived. Like no one would ever know it unless you were in my world. I like wake up to good news because I don't look at my phone, and then as soon as I look at my phone, it's like a whole whirlwind of things that I'm responsible for that I have to take care of, and I just like spiral downward from there. Like, oh god, you know. So
they say not to sleep with your phone near your bed.
I don't. I've been leaving it downstairs in my basement.
Oh, that's good.
And then I won't even look at it till I like look at my wife long enough because she's hella pretty, and that's way better. Like I would just like stare at her in the morning. I tell her like, you remember that show Moonlighting?
Yeah, with Bruce Willis and
Sybil Shepherd.
Sybil Shepherd, yeah.
yeah, bro. And you remember like whenever they would show like Sybil Shepherd, they would like put like this Vaseline kind of cloudy, it's like a glamour shot kind of thing.
Yeah, it was real soft.
yeah. So when I wake up in the morning, my eyes are like blurry and stuff, and I look at my wife, and she looks like a glamour shot to me. You know what I mean? She's just like hella pretty, and then there's like smudge around her of like fuzzy.
Everything's blurry around her.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's very sweet.
Ah, thanks.
You play Mario Kart?
Oh yeah.
Rainbow Road. Do you take the shortcut or not?
I've been known to take the shortcut a couple times. Just depend who I'm playing against, right? Like,
is it worth? Do you make it every time?
Oh yeah.
I bounce off.
I've been like, well, I actually probably right now I'd bounce off. Like practiced me wanting to like bug my kids and lap them and stuff like that, just to like be like, ha ha. I will definitely, I will land that like a ninja.
It's
but
so
dude,
fun.
ever since the first like on the 64 when I discovered like all those shortcuts, I would like do every single one of those cheats, bro. Like I would jump the wall, I would glitch that brought you all the way on DK's whatever. Like I did every single one of those things very well.
We have many nights of that.
Yeah, many nights. There would just be like making music and beating each other at video games. That's all we did for like 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it paid off.
Well, one of them paid off.
Well, yeah.
No.
They both paid off. The music didn't pay off.
Yeah, it did. No, it did. It did. Like honestly,
I don't know if the games did.
that's what I thought was the payoff. Was like how good I got at that stuff. Like, these accolades ain't gonna get themselves. You know, like I got awards to get, gaming awards.
We also do this. We have. I can feel the time. My timer is getting ready to go. But we have the segment Sage's social media alert.
Hello, Tai and Adrienne. What up, Sleepy? Strange Famous in the house. Hey. By the time this episode airs, we'll already have Bro down at the Rhyme Fest. I'm looking forward to that for sure.
I've been looking so forward to this.
I just going through your social media is fun because it's not much to scroll through. You haven't been super active in all the years that you've been on it, so I can easily get to the bottom of your Twitter timeline and see how it started. And I think I may have actually pressured you to get onto Twitter when we released the Christopher album, or maybe it was Hesitation Wounds. Anyways, in 2009, you tweeted, "Cleaning my house, thinking of the next big dance craze!" Exclamation point. We've actually danced on stage together. I think we have similar backgrounds in like aerobic hip hop. Not like we couldn't really pass as b-boys, but there's a hip hop element to our style. Well, anyways, my question is, so in 2009, it was toward the end of 2009, you said that. What was the next big dance craze?
I haven't seen Sage in a long time. He looks great. I think the dance craze that I was working on was a song called Crooked Politician. And I was writing a dance move talking about it was like a funny song I made about how politicians operate, but I made it into a dance move where they're being like shady and lying to everybody, and it was the dance, but I can't remember how I said it. I said something about like you pull the knife out the back, and I don't remember what it was, but it was like it was a great dance craze. I'm telling you, if we would have been able to do it, we would have beat that dance craze that just happened from the Addams Family stuff. Whoa.
Oh, right, yeah.
From Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, Wednesday.
I could have had that dance craze first, I think, with this one. It was the Crooked Politician, and it was dope.
Okay, well, this froze. I'm going to push play on Sage again. So
I'll see you in Denver on June 17th at the Strange Famous Fest with all the homies. I love you. Love y'all. DOD45 forever. Strange Famous.
Yeah, it's pretty dope having a legendary bro, you know.
Yeah, he's so dope. He's been a good friend to us. Hey, what's more intriguing these days, a Slick Rick verse or a Rick and Morty script?
Oh, Slick Rick verse, but I am a fan of Rick and Morty for sure.
Yeah. Well, hey, at a state fair, do you go corn dog or corn cob?
Corn cob all the way.
corn cob or Navajo taco?
Ooh.
Ah! Does the corn cob come with New Mexico chile on it?
Oh, see. No.
Okay, the Navajo taco, yeah. Because it has fried bread on it.
Mm-hmm.
My very first rap verse.
Hey, I couldn't remember. What are the pigs? What's the significance of pigs to you?
For me, it's because I have a group called the Chicharones, which are pork rinds.
I didn't realize that was what that was in Spanish.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, I told you I have a really goofy side on top of my other music that I make. The stuff that I make with Josh Martinez is just like, it's more funny, goofy, like it's the lighter hearted side of me. And
yeah, that's how we first discovered you 28 years ago from the Chicharones. That's what 20? Oh, we've only been married for 22 years.
And see, I really love that stuff. It's like really some of my favorite. Like me and Josh, we've grown really close over the years. he moved from Canada to Portland here too. And the company that we started together, and like we've just always been like inseparable, really. Like we really do a lot of good work together, and we just went through all the challenges together, so we trust each other immensely, you know. And so when we were spearheading like group names, when I first met Josh, I thought he was Latino. Soul had told me about him. His name was Josh Martinez, and I had a way different vision of what he looked like to me. You know what I mean? He didn't have look like Justin Timberlake or like a young Wolverine or something, but like he definitely caught me off guard. And then he told me a story, and I realized like his humor. And when I first started working with him, it was really hard for me to sort of like kind of not be serious, right? Like I had come from the Oldominion era, so like our music was really serious and technical, and he was like trying to get me out of that comfort zone into more like funny, and because he knew that side of my personality, right? I'm really goofy, I'm a nerd, and so like he knew that side of me, and he tapped into it. And we were in the van one day, like we were on tour. It just used to be like we had made a couple songs together, and we would go on tour with each other, and we would just take turns headlining. And then after whoever headlined, we would, at the end of our set, we would bring the other one up and we would do a set together. And it would just set it off. Everybody was just going crazy about it. Like the crowd would get excited, and we knew we had this like sort of magic energy. Like we harmonize really well together. Our voices go good together. It's like so natural. It just clicks. When it clicks, right? So we're kind of like Fly to the Conchords. I think that's why I like them so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
you guys are though. It is because you guys make good music together.
Yeah, and we're goofy, and we make positive music that's made to make people feel good, not like feel bad about themselves, right? So
yeah.
I was just in the back of the van, and I was thinking about like growing up. There used to be like this trailer at my grandma's house that belonged to the Gomez's across the street, and it was their band trailer. And I used to always just climb on it and stuff and play. And it had like their logo on it, and their band was called the Royal Flush or whatever. They were like a mariachi kind of family band, but their logo was a toilet, and I just always thought it was so funny. You know what I mean? And so I was like, I was thinking like funny names, and I thought about like, I was thinking about Josh and how I thought he was Latino like me, and I was just kind of thinking how to like give it like a funny Latin name, but like be goofy, so you expected something to be nerdy out of it, right? And I just thought the Chicharones, and I don't know why, I just thought it sounded so funny to me, and I said it, and he was like, "Yeah, I love it," and it stuck. And so we have been the Chicharones ever since, and I don't know. I think it's if you get it, you get it, but most people can't say it. That's what I realized.
Yeah. I used to always say the Chicharones.
Chicharones, yeah, I hear it all the time. Chicharones. I used to say we should change our name to the Chicharones. You know what I mean? Just like make it easy.
They should do-up band.
Yeah, because we do-up anyways, right? So like, I wish I could show you guys this new song I'm gonna finish up tonight. It's really fun. It's about like our tour manager, Kelly. She's actually my like manager. She's my sister, and I've always like, not my blood sister, but like through life we've become brother and sister, and she's always handling everything for me. She's like, does all my music business. She'll be our tour manager, help me with booking. She's just been like my ace, right? And so I wrote a song dedicated to her, but I made it really funny, and I told real life tour stories and about how she saves the day, and it's all based around her and like multitasking and her driving, and it's just like, it's a really funny song, and it's all doo-wop, and I made it like super doo-wop, but it was really cool. And
what will that end up on? Will we release that as a single, or will it end up like on an EP?
Yeah, it's gonna end up on it'll end up on the Chicharones album. Like the stuff I'm working on today, I'm working on 3 projects basically. I'm working on my solo stuff. I'm working on a bunch of features. So I've had like some pretty big musical guys. They recently have just really been interested in me. It turns out like this young kid that I used to know is now a grown man. He's a very powerful like, record exec, and
nice.
And I'm his favorite rapper, and he's like not gonna stop. He doesn't take no for an answer. So this is how I just started doing all these songs. Like I just did that song with Ice-T and Chuck D.
Yeah.
I just recorded a song with Talib Kweli. I just recorded a joint with Crooked Eye and Rapping Forte. I'm accompanying Rapping Forte on a record where I'm going to be the special guest for it. And there's a whole list of other people that I'm working on right now, like all these crazy songs and features. Like it seems like they're just going to be like blasting out what I could do. It sounds really cool because I'm not very good at promoting myself. Like I was telling you guys before, I have friends like that hang out with me every day and didn't even know I had a music thing going on for like 4 years. Yeah, because I forget to talk about stuff. You know, like there's so many other cool things that I get sidetracked and don't think about any like bragging or anything. So I have to be in a special mood to brag, or some special person makes me feel threatened or something. That doesn't happen very often. You know, like it has to be a really handsome guy. My wife like eye twinkled or something. I'm like, oh yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I'm too old to even fight. Like, I'm just I would lose. But you guys want to see my wifey real quick? Look how cute she is. She looks like an off-duty supermodel.
Oh, well, there we go. Hello.
Hey. Oh, the
off-duty supermodel.
Yeah. And she's wearing a Simpsons shirt, by the way.
Repping local.
You already know.
Awesome.
Local.
Well, let me hit you with these. We'll wrap up with these. There's things I call this new thing that I'm calling the dish. They're rapid fire questions. And
okay, let me see. Well, I'm known for rapid fire.
Okay.
Response.
We'll see how we go. Sorry, I'm having a cramp in my toe right now. Fucking getting.
Oh, that's okay. I always have a cramp in my toe.
Damn it!
I kicked a pillow that was filled with toys one day.
That's awesome. All right, here we go. Here's the dish.
Okay.
Anyone out there who really dislikes you, that they'll have a diss track about you someday?
I wish. I'm too much of a softie to get like haters or enemies. Like I can't think of anybody that would write a bad song about me.
Is there anyone that will suffer a diss track from you?
Maybe one day.
What the fuck is up with Kid Rock?
Okay, actually, I would serve Kid Rock's ass. That dude, honestly, I'll battle him anytime, any place, public, no money, for money, it wouldn't matter. That's somebody I would get behind dissing.
Yeah, awesome. Who do you think you'd make some bangers with if you were ever given the chance?
Man, honestly, I think Chicharones and Young Gravy would make good music together. I think he's funny and we have styles that blend with each other. I really want to do a joint with Pharaoh Monch one of these days. I really feel like rapping with Pharaoh and Prince Poe. Organized Confusion would be like a dream come true for me to do something with them. And I'm getting a lot of my dreams are happening right now. Like I didn't even realize how good Talib and myself would sound together. But people are having a hard time telling which one's which.
Wow. So you guys have already laid done bars and laid them down on tracks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
I've been recording. I actually took a couple hours off so we could do this, but I'm booked from for the next week solid. I'm knocking out all these joints. I already have all the recordings. Like these are like already really big progress, far behind them getting done. Like this joint with Crooked Eye is so ill. Like his verses, I had to write 2 verses. I'm not gonna lie. Like I came in thinking I had it, but his stuff was so clean. It made me like rethink it. Like okay, well, wow, and that doesn't happen a lot of times. You know what I mean? So it was really nice to be challenged and like have something to look forward to and to get me excited. Like when I was a kid, like stuff that there's a bar to reach and you're just like, yeah, I want to get there. I want to get to this point. Make something that I haven't made before, something ill, right? Like it's all I want to do is make new stuff that doesn't sound exactly like the other stuff, and that's why I took a little hiatus, is because it started. I got to a point where I made like 1,000+ songs in 1 year. I just recorded and I was doing like 3 or 4 songs a day. It was insane. Wow. And I felt like I was broken. It started feeling like assembly line to me, and everything started feeling the same to me, and I hated it. And I had to literally just put it all down and live life for a while, and life would give me enough to deal with that I would have like 4 albums So now I've been going through some good times and tough times, and we've lost some of our friends and family, and then there's a pandemic, and there's like, it gives you everything you need to have so much material to talk about right now. The way everything is, the trauma, like everybody has PTSD from politics and social media and everything that we're going through right now. Like everybody's sort of like traumatized, you know what I mean? And don't even know how to talk to each other anymore. It's like uncomfortable. You don't want to get into too serious of talk, and you don't want to say not enough, and you know what I mean? It's just like everybody's kind of going through it and glued to phones and this and that, and you start analyzing it. And I took that little vacation and got some break from the clouds, and now I'm like really excited to talk about it. I just needed like a minute to get space from everything, see what like I want to talk about, and it's right there in front of me, and I'm really excited to see what comes out of this. Like tonight when I leave here, when we jump off this, I'm gonna do this doo-wop song. It's already in my head. I got a little ditty there. So I got like this I got a 62 Thunderbird, and it's really dope. It's like looks like the Batmobile. It's matte black, murdered out, kind of sick, right? And I never had an old school like that before, and like I worked hard to finally have one, and I have one, but it doesn't run yet. I have like just a couple of tweaks to it, and I'm not really dope with that, so I'm dependent on my friend who's like the man, and he's taken forever to do it. So I've just been like fantasizing about cruising my car. So like the last 3 songs that I've written have literally been me just cruising with my wife in the car. Like I'm gonna, if they don't hurry up and fix my car, I'm gonna be full on like gente Chicano. My album's gonna be so Chicano, like nobody's gonna recognize me anymore. Like it's getting serious over here.
I appreciate you even coming on our show and getting this figured out. It's been awesome to talk to you and hear what's going on with you. Like it's really exciting to hear all this shit's looking up for you. I'm looking forward to hearing it. Are all on all those things, like with the Talib Kweli and all these other things that you're doing, are they like group things, or is it more of like someone's featured on something, or
they're just like going to be singles? Like people are just like giving me all these crazy verses, man, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with them. I've gotten Henri on a couple of the joints. I got Martinez on a couple of joints. I have just myself on a couple of them. You know what I mean? It's just like I'm pounding out this music, and I probably will release them as singles while I work on a larger project, because I have about 2 solo records finished already. They're just so different from each other. I have one that I have like one Chicharones record that's about 90% done. I have a sleep record that's about 90% done. I have another sleep record that's a little harder and like kind of like more ill, which I really like. And that one is about 80% done. I probably have like, I don't know, 10 or so more songs recorded with Henri. So that'd be like another project that's ready to come out.
Are you the type? Do you strategically release stuff, or do you like to just dump it when it's ready?
Honestly, I just make music, and sometimes I don't even release it. And we make music just because we need to make music. But I don't ever feel the need like I have to release music. You know what I mean? I want to share it with people in the time that I feel it's relevant. Like if something like feels relevant to me for the times, and I feel like it'll give somebody a good like track to listen to, or might make their day if they're going through a hard time, if the weather's all messed up and I want to give them something to like cheer them up, I might leak something or release it, you know what I mean? But other than that, I've just been making music and stockpiling it and working on my company. I started an edible company here in Portland, and we ended up becoming like the largest white label man. We're responsible for like 60% of all the edibles in the entire state. Yeah, it was like a real business. It's my first like grown-up business, and like it's changed a lot of things for me, both like financially and how I think about business. And now I've learned so much stuff. Like it was like a different language when I started getting into it, right? Like all these people were talking high-level business, MOQs and SOPs and every acronym you think of. Like, I don't know that stuff, you know what I mean? Right. I'm from New Mexico. Like, I didn't have like a formal education or anything. Like, I just made music and bumped around like Forrest Gump. And
And got pizzas
you know,
after shows. For your
yeah,
family.
you know what I mean. And so like there's a learning curve, but I will learn it if you put it in front of me. So
Yep.
I just asked questions, figured out what all these meant, and now that I know what it means, like it just kind of gave me some structure, and I built something from nothing. Josh and me, we took our last 10 grand that we had in our record label in Camo Bear, and we bought some equipment, and we went wreck, and we started this company, and now, you know, it's a multi-million-dollar company.
Wow.
It's
Good
a big
for
company. Yeah, it's changed a lot of things, you know, and because of it, we found ourselves way more busy than we ever planned on being.
Sure.
And now we're desperately seeking out a way out of it. Like, let's sell our business and go back on the road. You know what I mean? But like, when we sell that, then we'll be able to put a lot into our shows and a lot into ourselves, you know, and like really take a chance on us and be able to do things that people couldn't do for us before. And we definitely couldn't before, you know, so it's cool. Like I feel like everything's coming full circle. And all the hard work from everybody that's been going on for like decades is now just kind of doing something, right? Like a lot of the, like it might not have paid at the time, like when you're touring and losing money and not knowing how you're going to pay your bills or how you're going to eat, and you're just always on the road trying to build this thing. What you end up doing is creating a massive network, you know, and all these people in college that you were playing shows for, and the thing that I was blessed with is like I really like people, and nobody is like special or less important to me, you know what I mean? Like the janitor is the same to me as the executive. Like it doesn't matter where you are in life. If you're good to me, I'll be good to you, and I respect everybody equally. You know, I love people, and I've been always kind to people, and people in my career, like people in my world are sometimes not, you know, they can be cocky and arrogant and take this person's girlfriend or that. And so like as life 10s and 20 years go by, these kids who grow up to be like executives and lawyers and doctors or whatever they become, they remember how you treated them when they weren't that, you know what I mean? And so like that's been a real blessing for me, because I was the guy that was always good to everybody who was good to me, you know what I mean? I didn't, and I always like, I was always in a committed relationship, so I wasn't the guy taking your girl, and there's not a girl on the planet that's gonna Me Too me or anything crazy, you know, like I don't have any of that kind of stuff to worry about. Like socially, I'm good. I feel like, you know, that's why I said I wish I could have an enemy, like, but it's not in me. Like even people who do me dirty, I still like them at the end of the day.
Yeah,
like
you can find something about them.
I'm always like, I hope it really helped them. They really needed that money they stole out of our bank account. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I really am that way.
Well, I'll do this. We wrap up an episode with a final philosophical comment. So there's this lady, René Descartes was a French philosopher from the 1600s. And he wondered how we can distinguish wakefulness from sleep, because most philosophers argued that dreaming can literally replicate our perceptual experiences, which led to the worries that if dreams can so convincingly deceive us, we cannot know anything about the external world for certain, because everything we experience might just be a dream. So the question, your philosophical question is, how do we distinguish if we're dreaming or awake? Are we in a dream right now?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like we've pondered this idea similar to it before, you know, like obviously we're not in a dream that I'm having in my bedroom right now. I would identify it pretty quickly by the fact that like I'm not doing something silly. My dreams are crazy. I have really weird dreams. And my wife's obsessed with dreams, and she logs my dreams, and like, I mean, and what's crazy is I actually do have a lot of like sort of like psychic dreams, and I could give you examples of them, but I probably would have to put a couple of people on blast that I don't want to, but like they're like too weird to even like be real when they are. Yeah. So what I would say is like I feel like there's no way to really know if we're like, you know, if this is all like, if we're all code, if we're dreaming, if our existence doesn't even mean anything at all, because on the timeline of life, like we don't even exist, you know what I mean? So like whatever that is, I'm so blessed to have it, and I'm so grateful to experience it, and like taste it, smell it, see it, touch it, dream it, live it, imagine it, like all the things that we get to experience. I'm so grateful. And I feel like time is circular. I can't, like, every time I try to picture infinity, time not having a beginning and no end, it'll rack my brain. It'll make me hurt. It makes me feel like when you think about God being born or something, right? So it's just like it's impossible to like answer that. But what I start thinking about is if everything's just circular and it's always on this track that it's moving on, then any place in time will always exist, and I could always tap back into that time, whether it's like recalling it in my memories or maybe somehow I'm still living in that time zone. Like those things that happened to me when I was 15 and this and that, I'm still there somewhere living that exact reality right now as we speak. And it helps me just kind of think like that's forever. We exist because we exist, and I don't think any of us are ever going to truly understand it. And it's beautiful. I'm glad still. But, you know, honestly, I take a lot of pleasure in sometimes like Armageddon, like kind of end scenarios where everything ends at the same time and we all go out in a bang together. And I think about it because I just want to know what's going to happen at the end of the story. No cliffhangers. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to be the hardest part of dying for me. It's like all my shows, like, and I got to know what happened. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have any cliffhangers in life, so I'm just going to live it and not regret it. I'm going to tell people how I feel about them. Like, people like to pick on me. Even Sage and those guys, like, they think I don't hear it. You know, Storm and them, their little jokes. I heard because on that end of that track when I was telling everybody I love you, I was like, I love you. Talia, I love you. Oldominion, I love you. And then so they would, when I talk them on the phone, they'd be like, Sleep, I love you. And they would think, and it was funny, you know. But like, I tell everybody I love them every day. I make sure that's
good.
Because like you just never know when that's your last time seeing somebody. And I tell people how I feel about them while they're alive, not when they're dead. You know what I mean? I want them to know what they mean to me while they're here on this planet, while they're able to like digest it, while they can feel it and like know how they affected me positively. Because there's so many people who have touched me and blessed me in my lifetime who like would never even know that they had such an impact on me unless I took the time and told them like, yo, that time I was depressed and I moved in with you for a couple of months. That really did change my life, man. Like, you're always going to hold a special place in my heart because you got me out of my funk this time and this and that. You know, I never forget it. And there's people I love that I don't talk to in a long time and they love me the same way. Like Aesop, for instance. Me and Aesop Rock love each other. He's my bro, you know what I mean? And I've been bros with him for a really long time, but we don't need to tell each other all the time. But when we see each other, it's just known, and we both end up missing each other after an extended period of time and sending each other like funny texts or like miss you bud kind of text. You know what I mean? I love that guy. He's forever my brother. And anytime I see him, I'll tell him how special he was to me, because when my daughter's grandma died, she was really a fan of Aesop Rock, and I was like racking my brain, how could I cheer my daughter up? She's so sad. This is like a really big monumental time for her, you know what I mean? Like when her first grandparent dies, it's a really big deal. And so I called up Ace and I was like, yo, I don't want to put this on you, man, but I definitely could use your help. Can you call my daughter? He's like, I don't know what to say with her. And I was like, dude, just be Aesop Rock. As soon as she hears your voice, she's gonna like, it's gonna help her. And he was like, I'll put it real deep on her, bro. I'll be like, yo, everything's gonna be okay. But he did it in the Aesop voice, you know what I mean? Gonna be okay. You know what I mean? I was like, yes, exactly. And he called her and he did that for me, and it made her feel so special. And
that's awesome.
And instead of being depressed, she was like really excited that Aesop Rock called her. And then he said that she'd call him anytime, which she fully took advantage of. And like, yo, this is Sleep's daughter. Enough about that. I just want to say blah blah blah. You know what I mean? As she's growing up. You know? Things like that will always hold a special place in my heart, and so I'll always have love and respect for the people who do that for me, you know, do those good deeds they don't even realize they're doing at the time, but carry a lot of weight. And so if I'm dreaming, it's a good freaking dream. Sometimes it gets rough and bumpy, but I'm glad that I met the people that I got to meet in this dream, because if I woke up today and my family wasn't here and didn't exist, I wouldn't be anything anymore.
I'm gonna go right back to sleep.
Yeah, I would just, you'd either put me to bed if I woke up and it was a different reality. I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want to live any other reality than the one that I'm living right now. I'm really blessed. I got a super dope home life. Like, I have a wife who loves me and I love, and I have kids who love me and I love, and grandkids, and I just feel super blessed to just live that life, you know. And I'm really happy that people enjoy my music, because really, if you hate my music, you kind of don't like me as a person, because I throw myself into every part of my music so fully, you know, and that I always worry when I drop it. Like, if you think my song sucks, you kind of think I suck. You know what I mean? So,
I know
like,
exactly what you think.
I was scared to release it. You know, I was like, dang, I wrote this about me. And if they don't like this album, they don't like me, really, you know? And that's a hard concept to swallow. And I just try to avoid reading anything like that. Or even if it's positive, I try to stay away from it. I don't want it to affect how I start feeling about it. You know, if I get too cocky, I'm going to make sloppy music. And if I get too insecure, I'm going to make sloppy music. So I just would rather just make music happily. You know what I mean?
Hey, you're going to be at Strange Fame Fest, right?
I am.
Yeah, we're going to be there, and we're going to be talking with everyone there.
Yeah, we should get some dinner or lunch. I'm going to be there the day before. So if you guys want to get together or do anything, I'll be down to meet up.
That's what we just talked to Sage about. I guess he's got an Airbnb, and they're going to do like the day before, like some sort of like a Strange Fame dinner or something at the spot or something. So yeah, because we've almost interviewed the whole Strange Famous roster, and become really close with not really close, not like we're like, you know, talking to each other every day, but become quite friendly with everyone. And I've still never met one person in person. So
well, you can call me anytime.
I'm looking forward.
I'm pretty much the exact same in person, except for really shorter. You'll be like, dang, you're really that little?
No, that's how I am, bro.
We are too. We're both so short.
Are
you guys Latino? Like,
I'm Samoan, and Adrienne is
Samoan.
Yeah.
I have family from New Mexico as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're all sick. I could tell. I could tell.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to meeting you in person at the show, and you can always tell when you're with good people on our show. I know we're good at that. We're pretty good at like rapping with good people, and you can feel it, and you sense it, and you're one of those, man.
Thanks.
When my
I feel the same way.
At the end of a show, at the end of an episode, when my face hurts from smiling and laughing, like I know it was a good one, and I appreciate you taking the time to chat.
And your artwork is beautiful, man. Thank you. Such an amazing thing you got going on here. I love it. I think it's amazing. Like, you know. So.
Yeah, we definitely want to stay friendly with people that we've like-minded individuals, and so.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
All
right,
I always want to with real good people. That's for me everything. And my wife wants to talk philosophy with you guys. Like, here's the thing. This is the brains of the operation. Way more interesting and smart than me.
I'll leave her with a philosophical question, and then when we're out there in September, we can ponder it. This is the question you can ponder for the next 3 months before we're.
Right.
It's do we sleep to live, or do we live to sleep?
Oh, I have much to say about this. So yeah,
go ahead, say it.
We will need lots of time. Well, I'm part of a lucid dreaming group. And so we do a lot of dream work together, and I feel like I have spent a lot of time exploring the dream dimension. And I would love to talk more about that and how it influences this dimension.
Yeah, that's awesome. I dream while I'm awake, so.
Oh, I love that. Then we definitely need to talk.
Oh, my computer just crapped out again.
I can't see you guys. There's like totally a glare.
Well, and Adrienne's screen is frozen.
No, my computer just shut down.
Oh, her computer just. This happened to our Sage. She just got kicked off.
No, but hey, dude, it was really nice to talk with you. Your artwork is fantastic.
Thank you.
You were all fantastic. I look forward to meeting in person and getting to know each other a lot better, man. I really, really enjoyed talking to y'all.
We'll see you in almost 4, maybe 5 weeks. Yeah, for Strange Fame Fest. I'm a big. I don't ever say it when we're on the shows. I only really have people on the shows that music I like. I really, really, truly enjoy your music and the things that you make, and like as Sleep and as the Chicharones, or as we used to call it 20 years ago, the Chicharones. You're dope, man. Thank you so much. We'll see you in Denver. Thanks, and I'll send you messages about the status of the drawing, and because I'll need to get the address to send it to you and everything. All right.
All right, as we say in New Mexico, bueno bye.
All right, man.
All right.
Now how many walls do I have to climb to find my peace of mind? I keep on leaving pieces of me behind, keeping me blinded by night, forged by light to sharpen my tongue to the blade of a knife. Take life, breathe, flames to the mic, veins for the light.
Okay, yeah. So right there towards the end of that, Adrienne's video got booted out. We don't know why. Maybe it's because it's a time limit on your thing or anything. But anyway, what did I just say to you? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. What a jolly,
super sweet guy. I loved what he was saying about that. He tells everybody he loves them and how much he appreciates them. Because I think it's a fine thing to do, but I also get annoyed when people post like when someone dies and then they post this big long thing. It's like, oh, you dear dead person, I love you so much. You're always my favorite.
So what you're saying, you.
So I love that he does it when he sees them in person. And I'm sure he probably does it when they die too, but that makes more sense to do it when they're alive than on your Facebook when they've died, or Twitter or whatever. Yeah, telling people while they're alive. That's just a good quality to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. I guess mine I do less through the words of it. I'm not great at it still, but hopefully by the actions. Oh shit, I don't know. There are a lot of people I appreciate. But yeah, he was just a super cool, really nice person. Seemed lively and man, I'm really impressed after learning that he's got that company and he's been so busy with that, and then he's still putting out all this music. Yeah. So yeah, I'm guessing he doesn't get much sleep. Yeah. And also, it's ironic that his wife is so into sleep and analyzing sleep, and she's married to sleep. So that's kind of funny. Yeah, well, my whole thing was arranged around the word sleep and sleep. Mm-hmm. And Christopher's. Yeah, because his name's Christopher. Yeah. Oh no, maybe it's not. Oh yes, it is. No wait. Maybe it is. Why do I not know that? I do know that. Christopher Tafoya. Wow, I didn't think Tafoya was a Spanish name. I forget that there's Y in Spanish. Then the letter Y, because usually it's the double L's. But like yo soy, or yo soy Yosua. I don't know what you're saying. Wasn't yo soy my name is? Yo soy yo soy. I don't know. I know how to get no meat. I know how to get to the bathroom. I know how to get to the bathroom. I need to be immersed in it before it comes out of me. Spanish. I never spelt it though. I don't know. Yeah, yo soy Y-O-S-O. But you always think of like tortillas. You know, the two L's to make the sound. I never tortilla. Thought about spelling of anything. Yeah. I feel bad that not feel bad, but we were falling behind because we were having computer issues before the episode started, so I didn't really get to go through. I won't do it now because we heard enough from him. But I usually do like a whole run through of like their music and everything. I would have gone on a lot more. One of the big things really is we seriously listen to a lot of the Chicharones, and I just whenever I hear it now, I just get this good feeling because that was when we were first making a lot of money doing our. I'm sorry. When we did make a lot of money. When we were first ever made money, though, like I know before the economy, before the housing crisis. Yeah, we were making our artwork, and it was like outdoors because our studio was too small for the amount of work that we were putting out. So we'd like to spray outside. We actually didn't even have that studio built. Did we not? Oh.
but we'd always have I'd have music playing, and I swear it was just a lot of Josh Martinez and Sleep, and anyway, so it was awesome having him on. I don't need to go on about what a just a real good feeling person he is, because you would just listen and watch the episode, so you obviously know. I was gonna do a story, but I guess that episode we was enough. We went on, so I don't need to tell a story. I'll save the story for another episode. There was one little thing that I brought that I said I was gonna bring up. What was it?
I don't know. I'm sure it's fine.
Oh yeah, I was gonna do a quote share, a song share. Oh, because I didn't use the song. Let me just do a song share real quick. I'm gonna do a movie share, and the movie's called The Orator. And that is a movie. It's in the Samoan language, and it's probably. It's probably one of my favorite movies. Seriously, well, it's probably my favorite movie of all time, and it's just really good. If you like reading subtitles and you want to learn more about the Samoan way, go watch that movie. It's really, really, really good. And then my song share is another Samoan artist, and this is all based just because we just got back from Samoa. So the song is "Screams from the Old Plantation."
Wait, you already said
I didn't.
that.
I had to cut it out.
Oh.
Screams from the old plantation non-stop. Fight, fight, bear, fight, fight, bear. Screams from the old plantation non-stop. Fight, fight, bear, fight, fight, bear. It's in the mind of a homo. I'm just a psycho, ready to blow up the mic from intro to outro. Paul and is trying to understand his doubtful. You're trying to take me out, yeah, if it's a pitiful. I'm from Samoa, villages Fungusaya. When it comes to battling, I'm just an animal. Fix amnesia. Second migration. We all pay homage to the.
So yeah, I did that in Sage Francis's episode, but I had to cut it out. So yes, the song is called "Screams from the Old Plantation" by a dude named King Kapisi, and it's just that it's this Samoan song, and he does the choruses in Samoan, and it's not probably. I don't know. It's probably like you'll probably hear it, and you'll probably be like, "Oh my god, what is this?" But I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's an old song. All right, and then here's my quote. This quote is from a special person in our lives, and here's the quote, and I'll let Adrienne guess if she knows who it is. The quote is: "Earth made God, and God made everyone else," or I don't know, "Which is which."
Which is which? That was either of our kids. The Nale, maybe?
It was Saul. Yeah. Earth made God and God made everyone else, or I don't know, which is which. I think he was like 3 or 4 years old when he said that. All right, that's it for us. We may possibly be going on a little bit of a break. We might also be doing an episode with the meter maids, or what?
Well, don't worry about telling me, because sometimes they don't show up.
Okay. Well, yeah. Thanks for joining us. And check us at artbytai.com, the DOD45.com, at artbytai, and at DOD45W on the social medias. We enjoy chatting with y'all. We enjoy sharing with y'all, and hopefully you have a great rest of your week.
Now I'm going to go sleep.
You're going to go to sleep? Oh, I got to go edit. Happy conversing, happy drawing, and thanks for conspiring with us. We out. Peace.
DOD45.
Thank you for joining in on yet another episode of the DOD45 Show. Please hit the subscribe or follow button so that you never miss an episode. You can even go one step further by leaving us a review on the YouTube stream or on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever it is that you stream our show from. You can find me at Art by Tai on all the socials or at artbytai.com. And if you'd like to follow the DOD45 Show on social media, we're at DOD45W on Instagram, or you can go over to our website at DOD45.com, where you can shoot us an email, join our mailing list, and watch all of our past episodes. Consider joining us for a live chat on the YouTube premieres of episodes every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Peace.